YouTube, what is up? It's your boy Straightup_631. Today we are going to be going over my bike, doing an oil change, cleaning her up, getting her ready for Miami, because you know the big day's coming, MLK 2019, you know the vibes. But before we get to this oil change, we got to warm up the bike, get the oil hot.
They be in their feelings, I be trying to make these millions. I'm just trying to chase a bag. You keep talking about the past, what you did and what you had. No wonder you always mad. I'm just trying to get by. You just grinding to get fly. You worried about the wrong thing. My blood pop.
She hasn't been started in a few weeks. She hasn't been riding like that, but it's about that time. Definitely gotta get the gas out of the tank because I got some bad gas in there. That's why my quad was acting up in Philly. I thought it was about to blow up. Now that the bike's warmed up, we're gonna drop the skid plate. Then drop the oil. So we got 4 bolts on the skid plate that we're popping off right now. I take the skid plate off as a preference, just so my oil doesn't drip all over the place. Because when the skid plate's there, the oil seems to land on top of the skid plate and just go all over the place. Look how dirty it is. It's all nasty. I gotta clean my bike. Ugh. Oh yeah, and by the way, shout out to the Cookies fam for hooking me up with my dope ass packages all the time. You know we staying fly because of them. We got the socks on and all that. Now we're about to drop the 2 drain plugs on the bike. But before we do that, I need to find my oil pan, which is hidden in the corner back there. Alrighty. Now that we got that, the oil pan, we're about to drop this oil. So now, on this quad, which is a YFZ450R, it's a 2017, 2014 and up is all the same. There's 2 drain plugs and an oil filter. Now, originally, when I first bought my first quad, not this one, but the 2014, I was only draining my oil through 1 drain plug. And I did not know that there was another drain plug, which is right underneath the shifter on the left side of the casing. Was actually overflowing my quad with oil because I was draining not all the oil out of the engine, but then adding the correct amount of oil into the quad for like about a year until I happened to run into my shop and ask them a stupid question. Hey, is there more than 1 drain bolt? And they're like, yeah. So make sure that you're draining your quad correctly and using both drain plugs. Now I'm about to drop oil. I got 1 loose. Go to the other side. I need the extension for this one. And we're about to drop the oil. Yes, guys, I actually do an oil change every single time I ride the bike because I be wheeling for so long that most of my oil ends up in my airbox by the end of the day. Hey, look at this. My oil is crystal clear, like always. Just draining away now. You never want to lose these copper washers on your drain plugs, by the way. Make sure you always have your copper washers on your drain plug when you put them back on the bike. About to pop the second drain plug off since they're both cracked. bike drain. And while it's draining, I'm gonna give my skid plate a little wipe down, but I definitely need like Windex or some shit. Whoa, got it. Gotta keep Bay clean. It's all part of bike life. Maintaining your bikes and keeping them right. So when you're in the field, ain't nothing bad happening. Ain't no bikes cutting off, none of that. I mean, they give you headaches sometimes, no matter how much maintenance you keep up on, but it's worth it. To be safe than sorry. I like to keep my 450 showroom floor condition, even though she's dirty as hell right now. I'll give her a bath soon. I haven't washed her in a minute, so we're gonna get on that. That'll be in another YouTube video later on this week. But for right now, I got a video that I'm releasing of 360 footage that everyone's been asking me for the longest time. I had a 360 camera on my head in the pack in New York City, so I'm going to be releasing that video sometime this week. I don't know if it's going to be before or after this video, but I'm going to be doing that. Hey, it looks like the oil is drained. Now I'm going to give it a little shake, make sure it's all out. Oh, and one other thing that I didn't tell y'all to do. Take your oil cap off while draining the oil. It helps it flow out better. Oh, hate looking at this thing, it's all dirty, like, come on. Actually pisses me off. Alright, now we're going to get to oil filter. Now I had a problem with my oil filter. I actually stripped one of these bolts and I had to take it to the shop so they could rethread the inside of my casing, but now that it's fixed, this is the first time I'm taking it apart. I hope all goes well. Okay, wait, so we've got a problem. Your boy can't find the filter. So after about 20 minutes, I finally found the filter. It was sitting in my truck somewhere because I haven't done an oil change on this bike in like 2 months because I haven't been riding the bike. But hopefully all goes well right now, loosening these bolts up, because like I said, I had an issue with the threads. Now I always put a rag right here underneath the filter cap so the oil that falls out does not go all over my frame. We are going to pop these 3 bolts out. Boom. 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 Now all this oil, like I said, I don't want it going all over my frame. So I got the rag here to catch it. We're definitely gonna need another rag. Right here, okay. Pop that old oil filter out. As y'all can see, it's all dirty. Get rid of it. Wipe off the area. Now to the new filter. We're about to put this in. But before we put this in, I'm about to show you guys what oil I use in my bike. Now, this is all I use in my quad. Yamalube, full synthetic, 15W50, gold bottle, the best stuff out there in my opinion. I haven't had any problems with it other than my bike blowing up. No, I'm playing, it's not because of that, it was because I was wheeling too long in Atlanta. But we're about to put this new filter in, but before we do that, I'm going to take a little bit of oil. Not out of the new one, out of an open one already. Touch my finger on it. Wipe it around the edges of the filter. Now that I rubbed some oil on the outer edge of the new filter, I'm about to put this new filter into the bike. Got a little dirt on the threads. Clean those threads up real quick. Boom. Now you don't want to tighten these bolts too tight because you will end up stripping out the threads like what happened to me. You don't want that to happen because I missed out on a ride out due to me stripping my casing and I was very pissed off. So you don't want that to happen. But now that we got the new filter in there, it's time to put these drain plugs back on the bike, thread them in, and get to dropping the oil in the bike. Yes guys, this is a must. You must do this every 10 hours, they say, on your bike. I prefer to do it every time I ride because I'd be wheeling for like 20-30 minutes straight in some of these ride outs, and when that happens, a lot of the oil actually goes into my air box. It stays in my air box, so I just don't like playing around with the levels of my oil on the bike. I don't like it being low, I don't like it being too full, because if you put too much oil in the bike, then apparently it's not safe for the bike. So I just drop the oil, put new oil in, know I'm good. I like going out in the field knowing there's not going to be an issue, so that's about it. We're about to tighten these up. Like I said, not too tight, guys. Boom, boom. Now I always make sure I wipe down the areas by the filter and by the drain plugs. So when I start the bike back up after the oil change, if anything's leaking, I can tell, and I know that nothing is leaking from before. Like I said, always make sure that that copper washer is on in between the bolt and your casing. Make sure you don't lose that while doing an oil change. Yeah, I think the 450 needs a bath, y'all. She is dirty. Ooh. Bada bing, bada boom. Now it's time to put the oil in the bike. So, the funnel is a must because I don't like making a mess. So I always got my little yellow funnel set up. And yeah, you guys probably can't see me doing this from the side because of the camera angle, but I'm going to be putting 1.5 quarts of oil in the 450. So we're doing 1 full bottle, then a half a bottle. Filters changed, quads wiped down, drain plugs back in. Now we're topping the oil off. Like I said, the only oil I use is the gold bottle, 15W50 Yamalube, full synthetic. That's my preference. Everybody has their preference. A lot of people like the Motul. I might actually convert over to the Motul, but I've been debating on that for a while. They say it has like an additive in the oil that lubes your rings and whatnot. It's safer to run it. Actually, I ran Motul in my 2014. It actually ran different. I don't know if I liked it. I like the way the bike performs on this oil. I feel the little things like oil change and shit. I'm just like that with all my vehicles. If something's wrong, I know. Because I know my machines. You gotta know your machines. Or else when something goes wrong, you're not gonna know what's up with it. Just gonna let that bottle sit upside down for a second and then quart number 1, done. Now we're about to do a half a quart. We're gonna use this half quart right here. Now that I just cut this shit out of both of my fingers pulling my quad out of the garage, we're about to start it. I don't let it start right up right away because I like to turn the motor over a few times, get the oil going in there. MLK ready, just like me, since like 2 months ago. Who's ready to see this new footage and turn up with me? I hope to see y'all out there in the field turning up. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future videos. And that's it. We out.